What is going on, you guys? This is Erica's for the win. All aboard this Persona 5 hype train. Very late, I know, I'm so late, but better late than never, right? This game right here requires a lot of time, a lot of attention, and even though I wish I started it way sooner, just for the sake of being able to put it on my top games this year, I have this thing where it's like I can't put games on my top 10, top 5 if I haven't beat them yet. It's just, it doesn't make sense to me. So I'm kind of mad that I can't do that. But at the same time, it's kind of a blessing in disguise that I waited so long, because now I have real quality time with the game, with vacation and all of that, a break from school and work and things. So it just makes a lot of sense to play now. And I really have been investing a lot of time into this game. I'm at about 26 hours into the game. I just hit level 18 or 19. It's like one of the two. And just beat the second palace. So I'm pretty deep into the game. I've been playing a lot the past week. For any game to put in that many hours in a week is pretty good. That means I'm digging it. I'm really into it. And I just want to give you guys my first impressions, what I'm thinking about the game. Certain things that I really love, things that I'm surprised about, like the turn-based combat. I didn't think I was gonna like it as much as I do, so I want to talk about those things with you guys and just give everybody a thank you. Everybody who has been urging me to play this game, motivating me to play this game, and asking me to play this game. I want to thank you guys for sure, because it's one of the best games I played this year for sure, and it's definitely an experience that nobody should miss out on. So let's just get into it. Where do we even begin? There's so much to talk about with this game. I probably should have took notes, but I'm just gonna say whatever comes to my heart right away, and that is for sure the characters and the story. I feel like that alone makes this game worth playing, in my opinion. I feel like the story, especially with the first palace and that first a-hole boss, his actions and how much of a jerk he is gonna make you want to take him down. And that's how I was feeling. That's what was really pushing me through the game, because with turn-based combat, you know, going into this game, that was something that was kind of off-putting. It was actually one of the reasons I took a while to even get into this game or to start it, because turn-based combat is something I don't really have a lot of experience in. I'm not really attracted to it. I didn't grow up on it. Games like Final Fantasy, for example, I never played because I didn't want to play turn-based combat. I was more into the Zeldas and, you know, more action-oriented RPGs. Even recently, you guys know, I play the Soulsborns, I play the Shadow of Wars, the, you know, the Neos, all of those kinds of games, because, you know, they have RPG elements, but the action still stays fast and fluid and all of that. The whole taking turns thing was never really into it. So starting this game and you know, having the story kind of ride things out for me is what I think kept me really engaged and really involved and wanting to learn the combat. Like, it made my mind open up more to it. Not to mention, it's very stylish. I mean, when you look at the game itself, just from a visual standpoint, it's making a combat system that I'm not really familiar with look really damn good, and it looks inviting and it just looks sexy, you know? So it made me want to learn. And then, of course, like I said, with the story being so good and the characters being good, it just kept pushing me through, and I never really had a time where I was like, yeah, I'm not really feeling this. Like, I was feeling it from the beginning, and that is something I did not expect, because I know people would say to me, you know, hey, the tutorial's really long, just be patient, just take your time, you know, like the loading screen says, take your time. And knowing all of that, maybe that helped me slow things down and be like, okay, I have to take my time. I have to. Maybe that's what kind of helped, I guess, but honestly, I enjoyed all of it. Like, I enjoyed the whole tutorial, I enjoyed learning everything, reading everything, and that's a big deal, because usually when it comes to games, especially when they're dialogue heavy, I tend to skip things. I tend to just, you know, button mash X. Like, okay, let's get to the action, come on, like, let me just try this out. And that's usually what happens, but with this game, I slowed things down. I read everything. I actually went to, like, message boards and Twitter and I talk to people and like DMs and stuff like that and ask them, oh, you know, okay, how do you do this? Or any advice that you have for me, like, let me hear it. You know, I was very open to like learning about this game. And that to me is a big sign that I'm enjoying it. So yeah, it's been pretty awesome. There's been times I've been laughing. There's been times I've just been so invested. Like I said with the first boss, like I wanted to take him down. The music is great. I mean, going into the game, I did listen to the soundtrack beforehand. And I thought, okay, you know, it's kind of catchy, it's all right. But when you actually play the game, it really just, it becomes such the identity of the game. Like I would hear these songs just randomly in my head. And anytime someone would tweet about Persona or say the words Persona 5, like I would just get the songs in my head. It's like the songs are perfect for this game. The music is just, they're so short and sweet. They're like these little loops of music, but I could listen to them over and over and over, and you technically do in the game. Like every time you're in class, a certain song plays. Every time you're in the loading screen or you're in a battle, they all have their different little songs and their different little tracks, and it becomes that identity. Like it becomes so much part of that experience. And so the soundtrack is just very, very good. It's very important to this game, and it's what makes this game even better, in my opinion. And they're just always in my head. Like it's in my head right now. You never see it coming. That song's in my head right now. It's just the way it is. And I do want to do a separate video about, you know, games of the year and things like that. If I do talk about soundtracks, I will for sure talk about Persona 5 because it's really good. And yeah, so what else can I say as far as the game goes? I mentioned briefly about the characters. I really do like a lot of characters in this game. Of course, you have the jerks and the a-holes and the bad guys, but as far as my confidants go, I like the idea of having to like build a relationship with them, getting stats up, because every time you build your relationship, it strengthens the combat that you have. It strengthens your abilities and your relationships when you're in actual combat. So that's really awesome. Like I like that a lot. So I've been working on just doing everything, like hanging out with everybody I can, building those relationships, getting them to like me more, you know, all of that stuff. And then you have your individual characteristics like charm, knowledge, kindness, things like that you can build up as well. And then you use those to strengthen your relationships also. So it's really interesting to me to be able to do all these things, and it's very fun. Like I actually really do enjoy building up my knowledge, even if it's just having my character sit down to study. I know that sounds nerdy as heck, but I like doing that. I like making sure that I'm making use of my time and building my character up. It all kind of just comes together, and I really do like that about this game. It's neat to see how my relationships, as they progress, then so does our combat. Because when we're in a palace, for example, I'll be fighting, it's my turn, I use the turn, and then here comes Ryuji. He'll tag himself in and say, oh, let me handle the rest of this guy, like let me back you up. So as I developed my relationship with him and grew that stronger, the combat grows stronger, and he's able to tag in, help me out, and do things like that. So it's really cool to see how that progresses. And then, you know, with this turn-based combat, this is a combat I don't really have a lot of experience with, but the tutorials and all of that really did help, being as long as they were. I mean, they teach you everything. And of course you have message boards and the internet to kind of help you out too, but learning how to use the personas and what to do in certain situations, it's awesome. Like I actually really do like the learning process in this game. And the turn-based combat is actually really fun. It grew on me instantly. It didn't take long at all. And for being someone like me who just didn't play games like this, it should tell you a lot. Like if you're kind of in the same boat as me and you're kind of iffy on the combat, I totally get it. I was with you too. But give it a chance. I honestly do think that this game can open us up to this genre and make us like it. It's a great game to start with, and a lot of people told me that you know, just give it a shot. And thank you guys again, seriously, for like telling me that. It's been pretty cool. Of course it's very stylish. So even if you're hesitant going in and you're not feeling that type of combat, it's so stylish, and these developers really put their nice touch on it and made it interesting. And then of course you have the characters and the story that pushes things along as well. It just becomes a very enjoyable experience really quickly. Like I just was feeling it from pretty much the beginning. I was feeling this game, and going in, I didn't really expect that. I thought I was gonna struggle with like finding things wrong with the game or something I didn't like. That honestly didn't happen. Like it's it's pretty incredible. But as far as anything else goes, I think that's pretty much the main things I wanted to touch on. The only thing I could really think of that I didn't like at first was the map, or maps I should say, even in the palaces. I felt like I got turned around a lot just because of how the map would you know, show on the screen. It would kind of show me going the opposite way, or I don't know, like it's hard to explain, but that problem pretty much went away once I, you know, learned the areas and then activated a lot of fast travels and all of that. It doesn't even really exist anymore. So yeah, that was probably the only thing at first where I was like, this map kind of sucks, but I don't even think that anymore, you know, obviously the more I play it. But that's pretty much it. Like I can't really find anything I don't like. Like, I mean, the game is very dialogue heavy. And for most games, that would bother me. Like, I'd feel like, man, there's too much talking. Let's get to the action. But for various reasons, and whatever reason, you know, you guys can think of if you're into this game, it works with this game. I feel like I welcome the dialogue. I want to know the story. I want to know what certain people have to say. I want to know the reactions to things. And it's very interesting. So it just works with this game, and I don't mind the heavy dialogue. Even the school areas. I know some people complain that there's too much of the school and having to be a student, and they just don't like that. But I actually do. I don't know what it is. Like, it just speaks to me. Maybe because I'm still technically a student, maybe it speaks to me in that way, or it just doesn't bother me. I'm very, you know, critical about my time management in real life. Like, I'm very, like, if I feel like I'm wasting time or something, I kind of get mad at myself. So I think with a game like this, having to use time management and make sure I have things done, make sure I do the most in one day to get my character, you know, leveled up or whatever it is, I think that just speaks to me. It's like something that is made for me. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's hard to explain, but I guess what I want to say is that I'm just open to it. Like, it doesn't bother me, and I actually do enjoy it. Like, I do enjoy leveling up all the different characteristics that my character has, and then of course, you know, progressing the relationships with other people, and then having that translate to the combat. I just like the whole process. It's really good. But yeah, that's pretty much it, you guys. I hope you enjoyed my first impressions of Persona 5. I know I'm so late to this party, and many of you have probably beaten this game 2 or 3 times by now, who knows, but it's a long game, and I'm taking my time, I promise. I came in with an open mind, and I think that really has helped my enjoyment go even further with this game. But yeah, if you guys have any tips for me or any suggestions on things I should do with my character or anything, let me hear them. Thanks again for watching, and I will catch you guys in my next video. Peace.